Picture this. You're walking down a busy street on a hot summer evening, and suddenly everyone starts turning their heads. Not because of what you're wearing, but because of how you smell. That invisible trail you leave behind makes people stop mid-conversation and wonder who just passed by. Most guys think summer means throwing on some basic aquatic fragrance and calling it a day. But here's what they don't know. The sexiest summer fragrances aren't always the ones you'd expect. Some break every rule in the book, and that's exactly why they work. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Jesse, and I'm glad you clicked on this video. We're diving deep into the 10 sexiest fresh fragrances that will absolutely dominate this summer. We're talking about scents that don't just smell good, they create moments. The kind that make people lean in closer, ask what you're wearing, and remember you long after you've left the room. But before we jump in, I need to tell you something that happened to me last weekend that perfectly explains why choosing the right summer fragrance matters so much. Creed Aventus, the king that started it all. Let me start with the fragrance that changed everything for me. Creed Aventus. Now I know what you're thinking. Jesse, that's not exactly a budget-friendly option. And you're right, but hear me out, because there's a reason this one sits at the top of every fragrance lover's wish list. Aventus opens with this incredible blast of pineapple and blackcurrant that hits you like a tropical storm. But it's not sweet like candy. It's sophisticated, almost smoky. As it settles, you get birch, rose, and this incredible woody base that screams masculine confidence. The longevity is insane, 8 to 10 hours easily, with a projection that commands respect without being overwhelming. Here's the thing about Aventus. It works in boardrooms, on beach vacations, and everywhere in between. It's fresh enough for the hottest days, but complex enough for evening events. The only downside? That price tag will make your wallet cry. But here's where it gets interesting. There's a clone called Homme by Armani that captures about 80% of Aventus' magic for a fraction of the cost. I tested them side by side, and while Aventus still wins, Homme is shockingly close. For $30, it's almost criminal how good it is. Tom Ford Neroli Portofino, liquid sophistication. Now, if Aventus is the king, then Tom Ford Neroli Portofino is pure liquid sophistication. This is what Italian summers smell like if you're staying at a 5-star resort on the Amalfi Coast. I stumbled across this one during the worst date of my life last summer. I was at Nordstrom trying to kill time before meeting this girl who turned out to be nothing like her photos. The sales associate sprayed Neroli Portofino on a test strip, and suddenly, my terrible evening became interesting for completely different reasons. The opening is pure citrus heaven. Neroli, bergamot, lemon, and orange blossom dancing together like they were meant to be. But what makes this special is the amber and white musk in the base. It adds this warm, sensual undertone that makes people want to get closer to figure out what exactly they're smelling. Performance is solid, 6 to 7 hours with moderate projection. It's perfect for daytime office meetings, lunch dates, or those summer evening events where you want to smell expensive without trying too hard. The only clone I found that comes close is Bentley Absolute, but honestly, nothing quite captures that Tom Ford magic. Acqua di Parma Colonia, timeless Italian elegance. Here's a fragrance that proves sometimes the classics never go out of style. Acqua di Parma Colonia has been around since 1916, and there's a reason it's still relevant today. My grandfather actually wore this fragrance, though I didn't know it at the time. Last year I was going through his belongings and found this vintage bottle, one spray, and suddenly I was 8 years old again, sitting on his lap while he read me stories. That's the power of scent memory, and Colonia has this incredible ability to feel both nostalgic and completely modern. The scent profile is beautifully simple: Sicilian lemon, orange, lavender, and rose, with a clean musk base. It's fresh without being aggressive, sophisticated without being pretentious. Think of it as the perfectly pressed white shirt of the fragrance world. Performance is lighter, about 4 to 5 hours, but that actually works in its favor during hot summer days. You can reapply without worrying about becoming a walking fragrance bomb. It's perfect for those situations where you want to smell clean and elegant without making a statement. The best cologne I found is 4711 Original Eau de Cologne, which costs about 90% less and gets you surprisingly close to that Italian elegance. Bleu de Chanel EDT, the crowd pleaser. If you want one fragrance that absolutely everyone will love, Bleu de Chanel EDT is your answer. I learned this lesson the hard way during my first corporate job. A confident sales associate recommended Bleu de Chanel, and it was like putting on a suit. Citrus, mint, pink pepper, and sandalwood create this perfect balance of fresh and sophisticated. It's clean enough for the office, but interesting enough for after-work drinks. What makes this special is its incredible versatility. I've worn it to job interviews, first dates, family dinners, and beach vacations. It works every single time because it never feels wrong for the situation. Performance is excellent, 7 to 8 hours with good projection. The clone market is flooded with blue copies, but the Mont Blanc Explorer comes closest to matching that sophisticated freshness. At half the price, it's definitely worth considering. Dior Sauvage EDT, the attention magnet. Love it or hate it, Dior Sauvage gets noticed. And in summer heat, that ambroxan really comes alive in ways that will surprise you. Here's what most people don't realize about Sauvage. It performs differently in heat. Cold weather makes it feel sharp and aggressive. But summer heat, it becomes this warm, inviting cloud that draws people in. The longevity is insane, 10 plus hours easily, with a projection that lasts all day. The key with Sauvage is restraint, 2 sprays maximum, or you'll clear rooms instead of attracting attention. It's perfect for beach days, summer festivals, or anytime you want to be memorable. Clones are everywhere, but Al Haramain L'Aventure Night gets surprisingly close for about $20. Not identical, but definitely in the same family. YSL YEDP, modern masculinity perfected. YSL YEDP represents everything modern masculinity should be. Confident without being aggressive, fresh without being boring, and complex enough to keep people guessing. I discovered this during a summer internship in New York. My roommate worked at a fragrance counter and brought home samples every week. YEDP was in a random batch, and I almost ignored it because the bottle looked too simple. The biggest mistake I almost made. Apple, ginger, and bergamot create this incredible fresh opening that immediately grabs attention. But the magic happens in the dry down. White woods, amberwood, and tonka bean create this warm, almost creamy base that's absolutely addictive. It's like the perfect summer dessert in fragrance form. Performance is outstanding. 8 to 9 hours with projection that stays noticeable without being overwhelming. It works equally well for office presentations and rooftop parties. The versatility is what makes this special. I haven't found a clone that truly captures YEDP's magic, which honestly makes it worth the investment. Sometimes originals are original for a reason. Versace pour Homme, the underrated gem. Here's a fragrance that gets overlooked because people assume anything under $50 can't be that good. Versace pour Homme proves them wrong every single time. My cousin introduced me to this during a family vacation in Greece. He'd been living there for 2 years and swore by it for Mediterranean summers. One spray in that 95-degree heat, and I understood why locals choose this over more expensive options. Citron, neroli, bergamot, and rose create this incredibly fresh opening that feels like jumping into cool water. But the hyacinth and cedar base adds just enough depth to keep it interesting. It's simple, but sometimes simple is exactly what you need. Performance is surprisingly good for the price. 6 to 7 hours with decent projection. It's perfect for vacation days, casual summer events, or anytime you want to smell great without overthinking it. Plus, at $30, you can spray it liberally without worrying about your bank account. There are clones of this, but honestly, why bother when the original is already so affordable? Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Intense, Sicilian Summer Energy. Light Blue Intense takes everything people love about the original and amplifies it perfectly. It's like the difference between a gentle ocean breeze and an energizing sea storm. I found this during the most stressful period of my life. Final exams, job applications, and a breakup all happening simultaneously. I needed something that would make me feel alive again, and Light Blue Intense delivered exactly that energy. Frozen grapefruit, juniper, and seawater create this incredible aquatic opening that feels like pure summer happiness. But the addition of amber and musk in the base gives it staying power that the original lacks. It's fresh enough for pool parties, but sophisticated enough for summer evening events. Performance is where this really shines. 7 to 8 hours with the projection that keeps you noticeable all day. It's perfect for those situations where you want to feel confident and energetic. Clones exist, but Nautica Voyage gets you into similar territory for much less money. Not identical, but definitely scratches the same itch. Prada Luna Rossa Ocean. The modern classic, Prada Luna Rossa Ocean, is what happens when Italian designers decide to reimagine what fresh can mean. It's familiar enough to feel comfortable, but different enough to stand out. I tested this during a summer shopping trip with my brother. He was getting married and needed something new for his honeymoon. The sales associate sprayed this on him, and within 5 minutes, 3 different people had complimented him. That's when you know you found something special. Artemisia, iris, and saffron create this unique opening that's fresh but not predictable. The addition of amber woods and Haitian vetiver gives it a sophisticated base that evolves beautifully throughout the day. It's like watching a summer sunset, constantly changing but always beautiful. Performance is excellent. 8 hours easily, with a projection that commands attention without being overwhelming. It works perfectly for date nights, summer weddings, or any time you want to smell expensive and sophisticated. I haven't found a true clone of this yet, which honestly makes it feel more special. Sometimes it's worth paying for uniqueness. Armani Acqua di Gio Profondo. Deep water confidence. Profondo takes the Acqua di Gio DNA and pushes it into deeper, more interesting territory. It's like the difference between swimming in a pool and diving into the ocean. My friend Alex wore this during a summer trip to Miami, and the difference in how people responded to him was incredible. Bartenders remembered his order, servers were more attentive, and he got more genuine conversations with strangers than I'd ever seen. That's the power of wearing something that makes you feel confident. Marine notes, bergamot, and rosemary create that classic Acqua di Gio freshness. But the addition of lavender, cypress, and patchouli gives it this deeper, more masculine character that the original lacks. It's fresh enough for daytime, but interesting enough for evening wear. Performance is where this really improves on the original. 7 to 8 hours with good projection. It's perfect for summer business events, vacation dinners, or anytime you want that classic fresh feeling with modern performance. Clones are starting to appear, but honestly, the original is reasonably priced and worth the investment. Now that we've covered all 10, let's talk about what really matters. Which ones work best for your lifestyle and budget? The comparison game. If you're working with a bigger budget and want maximum impact, Creed Aventus and Tom Ford Neroli Portofino are in a league of their own. They're conversation starters that people remember long after you've left the room. For everyday wear that never fails, Bleu de Chanel EDT and YSLY EDP offer incredible versatility. You can wear them to work meetings and date nights with equal confidence. If you're just starting your fragrance journey or want something reliable without breaking the bank, Versace pour Homme and Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Intense deliver premium experiences at accessible prices. For those special summer moments when you want to feel like the main character, Dior Sauvage EDT and Prada Luna Rossa Ocean create that magnetic presence that draws people in. And if you appreciate classic sophistication with a modern twist, Acqua di Parma Colonia and Armani Acqua di Gio Profondo offer timeless elegance that never goes out of style. My personal recommendations for the guy starting his collection: begin with Versace pour Homme and Bleu de Chanel EDT. These two will cover 90% of your summer needs. For the fragrance enthusiast looking to upgrade, Creed Aventus or CD&M as a clone, and Tom Ford Neroli Portofino will elevate your entire presence. For the budget-conscious individual who still wants to turn heads, CD&M, Al Haramain Lavender Night, and the original Versace pour Homme offer incredible value. For the guy who wants one signature scent that works everywhere, YSLY EDP is your answer. It's fresh enough for day, sophisticated enough for night, and versatile enough for any season. Remember, The sexiest fragrance is the one that makes you feel confident. These 10 will definitely get you noticed, but the real magic happens when you find the one that feels like it was made for you. That's a wrap on today's deep dive into summer's sexiest fresh fragrances. I'd love to hear which one caught your attention. Drop a comment below and let me know which fragrance you're planning to try first, or if you've already worn any of these, share your experience. If this video helped you discover your next signature scent, smash that like button and subscribe for more fragrance content that actually matters. Hit the notification bell so you never miss new reviews. And remember, life's too short for boring fragrances. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Until next time, smell and feel good. Stay fragrant.